The suitable magazine that can be applied in this case study is magazine 24, Al-Adatul Muhakama, which means a custom is an arbiter. Ada is a noun derived from the verb ada or ya'ribu, which means to return or to come back. Ada is used to denote custom because a custom is a practice that keeps coming back and the people who practice it keep repeating it. Ada is used for both social custom and the personal habit for an individual. Uruf is a noun derived from the word arifa or ya'rifu, referring to the custom or knowledge of a given society. Uruf is used exclusively for the custom of an entire society or group. It also means custom because custom is a standard practice that is widely or universally recognized as fitting and proper in given society, and it is practice that is sanctified by regular observance and makes for and satisfy common expectation. Muhakama is the passive participle of the verb hakama or yuhakimu, means to choose someone or something as an arbitrator. Its use in this magazine connects the status of custom as a reference for resolution of disputes. Okay, let's take a look for the authority of the magazine. In the Quran, in Surah Al-A'raf, verse 199 means, be tolerant and enjoy what is right, or al-uruf, pay no attention to foolish people. And it's mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 233 means that mothers suckle their children for 2 whole years if they wish to complete the term, and the father shall bear the cost of their food and clothing in a fair manner. No one should be burdened with more than they can bear. Meanwhile, in hadith from Aisha related that Hind binti Utbah said, O Messenger of Allah, Abu Sufyan is a miser and does not give me what is sufficient for me and my children. Can I take of his property without his knowledge? The Prophet said, take what is sufficient for you and your children, and the amount should be reasonable. There are 6 types of uruf. The first one is al-uruf al-qawli. This means statement with the people or group of people are used to. For instance, the word walad in the Arabic language means a child, male or female. However, it is customarily used to refer to a male child. The second one is al-uruf al-amli. This refers to practices which the people or group of people are used to. For instance, it is the custom of the Egyptians and the Sudanese to circumcise their daughters, while this is repugnant in the Syrian culture. The third one is al-uruf al-am. This refers to a custom that is generally believed in by the people, be it a statement or practice. For instance, the use of international passport bearing the visa of the country which one intends to enter is a common practice among the countries of the world. The fourth one is al-uruf al-khas. This is a custom that is common among a group of people in the society. For instance, it is common among the Ijaz or Boho men to put on wrappers. The fifth one is al-uruf al-fasid. This refers to custom that contradicts the Sharia text or the objectives of the Sharia. This may also be a statement or practice. For instance, it is a general practice by the people to get loans from riba banks. Last but not least, the sixth one is al-uruf al-sahih. This is the custom that fulfill the Sharia requirements by not contradicting any Shari'i evidence or objective. For instance, the use of ATM has become the practice of the people in the society, which does not contradict the Sharia. Now, let's take a look for the uruf in zakat gold and jewelry. Gold worn as gems is not imposed as zakat, according to Shafi'i Mazhab. However, it is imposed as zakat if it exceeds the waist limit. The wastage limit is specified only for uruf and is imposed as a zakat if it exceeds uruf. Uruf is used to wearing gold in a local place for women. However, no provision is made by scholars to determine the form of uruf used in gold jewelry. It's one of the Hanafi Mazhab opinions as well. Zakat of all types of gold and silver made of gemstone that women should wear it required according to Imam Abu Hanifah, such as bracelets, chains, earrings and so on. The zakat is not obligatory on gold and silver, which are made to be worn by women, according to Jumhur Ulama, Imam Malik, Shafi'i and Ahmad. The most strong view is Jumhur Fuqaha's opinion reinforced by the Egyptian fatwa and fatwas of Malaysian state in Sheikh Dr. Yusuf Al-Buk Al-Qadrawi Fiqh Zakat. Therefore, women are not obligated to produce zakat with their gold and silver as jewelry.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Julia Atira binti Muhammad Nasri, and I will continue the discussion on the uruf in zakat for gold jewellery in the context of Malaysian practice. So, as we all know, the rate of zakat for gold saving has been explicitly declared through the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, which is 20 dinars, which is equivalent to 85 grams of gold. But unlike the zakat for gold jewellery, there is no specific stipulation in the Quran or hadith about the rate. Imam Shafi'i argued that gold jewellery is not obliged to pay zakat. However, some scholars believe that gold jewellery is still subject to zakat if it exceeds the rate of custom of the local community, or commonly known as the uruf rate. In Malaysia, the stipulation on the guidelines for paying zakat on gold jewellery is based on the practice of zakat institution and the fatwas of the muftis in each state. The uruf rate is set by the state zakat institution with the consent of the state mufti. This has caused the obligatory nisab of zakat on gold jewellery to differ in some states due to the different uruf values used as well as the different current values of gold. So this is the uruf rate for zakat on gold jewellery for each state in Malaysia. According to this data, the states of Selangor, the Federal Territory and Johor are among those with a high uruf values of 800 to 850 grams of gold. Because of the high value of uruf, many gold jewellery owners are free from the zakat duty. Even if they are charged zakat, the amount after subtracting the uruf value is still small. On the other hand, for states with low uruf values such as Penang, Melaka, Negeri Sembilan and Sabah, it would cause some population to belong to the category of zakat payers. However, this may be justified by the high standard of living possessed by the Muslim community in Selangor, the Federal Territory and Johor, and the average standard of living in the other states. Meanwhile, as we can see, no uruf rate is being established in Kelantan. This situation arises due to the custom of women in Kelantan wearing gold jewellery on a regular basis. Furthermore, gold jewellery is used for vigilance in the face of any eventuality as well as for the immediate purpose of business capital. Thus, in Kelantan, jewellery is no longer merely a symbol of wealth or luxury goods. One of the important aspects in determining the success of zakat management is its efficiency and effectiveness. In this case, it is found that the management of zakat for gold jewellery is quite loose because the collection of zakat from gold sources, whether for saving or jewellery, is categorized under one category, which is zakat for gold only. This is not supposed to happen because the methods of the calculation for these two forms of zakat significantly differ, as does the name. Therefore, to guarantee that these two factors are taken into account, the relevant zakat system should be changed to be in accordance with Sharia law, where the portion of gold for saving and gold jewellery being efficiently divided. In the context of gold jewellery, it must be based on the uruf stipulations set by the states in Malaysia. Next, it should be emphasized that the nature of uruf is changeable and the laws underlying uruf will also change. It is not appropriate for the uruf rate used for the last 20 years to continue to be used as a reference, burdening both zakat payers and zakat recipients. Therefore, the study on the uruf rate of gold jewellery should be done on a regular basis, for example, every 5 years. The frequency of the study is to cater for societal economic changes and consumption trends from time to time. It can assure the flexibility and applicability of Islamic law in society. Thirdly, the difference in uruf rates between states confuse society. For example, the near proximity of Negeri Sembilan and Selangor may cause zakat payers to question the varying uruf value of 600 grams of gold. As a result, people who live in Negeri Sembilan may avoid paying zakat. Therefore, the equalization of the computation of zakat on gold jewellery throughout the state should be considered in order to facilitate the collection of zakat on gold jewellery. In conclusion, uruf for gold jewellery is perfectly imposed by the zakat management according to the states in Malaysia. However, there are several flaws that should be taken into consideration by the authorities. Thus, the ideas for improvement given should be implemented in order to actualize the collection of zakat in Malaysia in accordance with Islamic law. Furthermore, the efficient implementation of zakat for gold will enhance knowledge and public awareness about uruf of zakat on gold jewellery during this time, as well as to improve the economy of Muslims. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.